Oh, yeah, the Philadelphia 76ers are back in the win column, and all is forgiven, and we can forget about the 2 losses, and we can forget about all of my overreactions. They won. I am back. There's a lot of things to talk about. Trendon Watford was absolutely out of his mind in this game. He's the player of the game. And we need to talk about Trendon Watford. We need to talk about what Joel Embiid looked like. We need to talk about Tyrese Maxey continuing to do what he's doing. And there's some other things we got to talk about. And I want to listen to what you have to say on the Discord. Click the link that's pinned at the top of the chat. Jump into Discord or just be active in the chat. We're going to have a good time, man. Sixers win. Let's go. Sixers, why won't you just lose and put me out of my misery? Why do you got to keep doing this to me, bro? Nobody else should touch the ball right here. He shoots it from the logo. Oh, we're going overtime. Tyrese Maxey is a god amongst men. Welcome back to Run It Back Philly Sixers post-game live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. If you're brand new, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these shows. We go post-game live after every single 76ers game. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any lives or any videos ever. Listen to us on podcast platforms. Sicko Nation, hit the like button for me. Let's get 1,000 likes on this stream. Before I get to say what I want to say, every single one of these shows is brought to you by our friends at Bright Medical Technology of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Sixers' performance was immaculate tonight. If you have been struggling to have immaculate performances like you used to, you need to call Bright Medical. Bright Medical offers generic Viagra, Sildenafil, and Cialis Tadalafil. 30 tablets for $40 delivered to your door. This is the lowest cost in your area. And if you've been struggling, that's the best $40 you're going to spend, my friend. All you need to do is call 215-725-MEDS. That's 215-725-6337. When you call, mention Run It Back Philly, and you'll get 10% off your first month's supply. Bright Medical is Pennsylvania's largest medical supply company with products and solutions for patients from all ages, infants to seniors. A family-owned business right in the heart of Philadelphia, PA. They take all calls in-house and speak 9 languages. The Sixers had another immaculate performance, and you can get back to performing also by calling Bright Medical. Thank you to our friends at Bright Medical Technology for sponsoring the post-game live show. Let's get down to business. All right, man. First thing I want to say is this. Trendon Watford. Trendon Watford? What the hell did I just watch? Trendon Jokic? Jokic. Trendon Jokic-ford? Bro, this guy was doing everything. And I remember, just last game or maybe a couple games in a row, I was commenting on how well I thought Trendon Watford handled the ball, right? And I knew Trendon Watford was nice playing for Brooklyn, but I don't watch a bunch of Nets games because nobody does, because Nets fans don't even watch Nets games because Nets fans don't exist. I knew Trendon Watford was nice just from seeing him against the Sixers a couple of times last year. I knew he was a utility player who had a lot of different skills. I like to call him a basketball player because so many years watching the 76ers, I used to say, where are the basketball players? Where are the guys that can just come in and like do all of the basketball things, you know, dribble, pass, and shoot, right? Trendon Watford is that guy. And Trendon Watford, you know, a couple of games ago, I was commenting on how he was running point guard in the second quarter. Actually, just last game. There was a segment in the second quarter where he was running the sets and bringing Tyrese Maxey off ball. Because the 76ers didn't sign a point guard. They just signed Kyle Lowry again because that's what they do every year. But anyway, Trendon Watford tonight took that to a different level. He was doing everything out there. Rebounds, defense, steals. But the assists were outrageous. And again, there was big parts of this game where they were running the offense through Trendon Watford. I love to see that because it's nice to see a basketball player that can do multiple things, right? It also frees up Tyrese Maxey to start running sets, to bring him off ball, to bring him off screens, to get him going downhill so he doesn't have all of the point guard responsibilities. Also, Trendon Watford in a Nico Batum style role with Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? Fitting right in as that power forward that you can run in the high post. And they did it tonight again. They ran a couple high lows with Trendon Watford getting Joel Embiid under the basket. It just adds such an element to this team, and I feel like that player, we love Nicholas Batum in that role because sometimes there's like a disconnect from point guard to Joel Embiid. There's levels, and you need that guy that can fill in the middle. And I loved what Nico Batum did here, and I haven't seen a power forward do that since, and it's because you need a power forward that has skills, but is also a willing passer and an accurate passer. And Trendon Watford is all of those things. 17 rebounds in the damn game for Trendon Watford. 17? This team hasn't been able to rebound since 1574. Trendon Watford just had 17 rebounds. On top of that, 10 assists, a 20-point, 17 and 10 game for Trendon Watford. And it's rare to see a guy at his position handle the rock as confidently as he does, Guys like Quentin Grimes are out here turning over the rock. He's looking sketchy with the ball when he gets trapped at half court. You don't know if he's going to turn it over or not. You just feel a little uneasy, VJ Edgecombe, I like him, but he's a rookie, bringing the ball up, getting double-teamed. He's prone to turn it over. Joel Embiid getting double-teamed. We know he's prone to turn it over. Trendon Watford, for some reason, you just feel a sense of security when he has the ball in his hands. And he's really the only guy outside of Tyrese Maxey that I feel that sense of security when he has the ball in his hands. And, man, tonight was awesome. I know he had the hamstring injury and he missed the first couple of games of the season. I didn't expect him to be doing this soon. I know the first game he came back, some people were calling him trash because Nick Nurse just threw him out there, and he had to get his feet under him. He had to feel out, his teammates and get the chemistry and things like that. Trendon Watford, just what a game, dude. What a game. He's balling, 8 for 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, but the 10 assists. And the one that I wish he would have got was the backdoor pass to Tyrese Maxey. Oh, the top of the key, just hesitation, one hand, no look to Tyrese cutting baseline. And Tyrese tried to catch a body, and it was just a good block, I think, by RJ Barrett or maybe Jacoby Walker. I don't remember who it was, but if Tyrese would have got that poster dunk right there on that Trendon Watford no-look backdoor dime, that would have just been absolute cinema. But he didn't get it. But Trendon Watford was amazing in this game. 5 offensive rebounds also, led the team in the offensive rebound department. I mean, I don't even know what else to say about Trendon Watford, but I hope this isn't a one-off type of thing. I'm not expecting the guy to average a triple-double or anything, but I think Trendon Watford definitely found his role in this team because he fills in something that we desperately need. And it's rebounding, but it's also playing the high post and being the connector between Maxey and Embiid sometimes, especially when you're trying to strategically get Joel Embiid under the rim. You know what I'm saying? And I think that leads me right into my second point. This was the best game from Joel Embiid this season. He had 29 points. I didn't even realize he had 29 points. This was Joel Embiid's best game so far this season. And I'm not even talking about the points. We know he can score, right? It's what he looked like physically, okay? In the first half, I saw a couple lapses where he was just in the paint, leaving Bakashvili or whoever just wide open at the three-point line. 2 times in a row, it was Scotty Barnes wide open for 3 there in the first half. And I was getting on him a little bit in the live stream saying, get the hell out of the paint and get out to the three-point line. You know what I mean? But he started moving a little better. But I think, and shout out to Nick Nurse for this also, I think the 76ers went into this game with Joel Embiid and they clearly practiced a strategy. Let's get you under the rim. You know what I mean? Because Joel so far this season it's just been iso ball. It's just been the Sixers standing on the perimeter. Here you go just do whatever. It looked like a preseason game or a scrimmage most of the time. hasn't looked like there's been much strategy in these games yet. This game, I saw a lot of strategy throughout the whole game, and one of the things that I definitely saw was the 76ers intentionally getting Joel Embiid in the low post. And right off the tip, the Raptors had to bring the double team. And that's just an ode to how great Joel Embiid is. Because he's probably about 60% right now of what he was in his prime. Actually, probably not even close to 60%. If we really think about what his prime was, he was the most unstoppable player in the entire NBA. Probably in NBA history. And people hate when I say that, but it's not. I'm not talking accolades. I'm not talking championship wins. I'm talking in his prime when healthy. The most unstoppable one-on-one player the NBA's ever seen. He has the highest point per minute in NBA history. It's just facts. Does he get hurt? Yes. Does he fold in the playoffs? He has, yes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he looked like in his prime. So he's not even 60% of that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. The fact that the Raptors, right off the jump, brought a double team to Joel Embiid just shows you. Other NBA teams know. Even at 45% or whatever he's really at compared to his prime, we still need to bring a double team. He's that good. He's that dominant. He's that good that even at not even close to 100%, we need to bring a double team. And the few times they didn't bring a double team and he had Scotty Barnes on the block one-on-one, excuse me, Scotty Barnes is a very large human being. Joel Embiid makes Scotty Barnes look like a child. And he just back him down, little pivot step, lay in, easy money. So you got to bring the double on Joel. And this is the first game where I felt like the Sixers were intentionally getting him on the block so he could dominate like that. But he looked the best on the block also with his footwork. He was being physical, getting down there, doing the pivot spins and getting into some of his post footwork. And it was very nice to see Joel Embiid get some of that back. And that makes me very happy. And if I was, I'm not saying he's back 100%. I'm not saying the Sixers are going to the promised land. But anytime I said anything about not believing Joel Embiid would ever get back to 100%, I always said I would love to be wrong about that. Obviously, I would love to be wrong about that. I said Joel Embiid needs to retire this offseason. I thought he was cooked. I thought he was never going to play again. I would love to be wrong about that. It's just how I felt about it. And even some of the games in the beginning of this season, I felt that way. It's hard to imagine him. He's not going to get back to 100% if 100% is prime Joel Embiid. He's just not, because sadly, he can't jump anymore. And you saw him try to dunk in the first quarter, and he doesn't come off the ground. But that's fine. That's okay, because he has that much skill. If he didn't have skill, he'd be 7-foot Russell Westbrook, and he'd just be done once he lost his athleticism. Joel Embiid's game can age gracefully if he can stay on the floor, even with completely losing his ability to jump, because he can play that slow-paced Tim Duncan style game where just get him on the block, turn, easy lay-in, And I also think Joel Embiid did a great job in this game of playing within the offense and playing within the team. And there was a stretch in the third quarter where Tyrese Maxey took over once again, and I was saying, Tyrese Maxey's no longer a sidekick, man. Tyrese Maxey's he's the leader. Tyrese Maxey's the leader of this team, man. And Joel Embiid, at this point of his career, is a second option. And that's a great thing. The super Joel Embiid stands with the Joel Embiid profile picture on Twitter, they don't want to hear that because that's their hero and their bedroom is full of his posters and things like that. But Joel Embiid is a second option right now, and that's a great thing. Because when a team's trying to stop Maxey and Grimes in certain games and VJ in certain games, and they say, oh shit, they still have Joel Embiid. We forgot about him too. You know what I mean? It's great to have that depth. And I think Joel's doing a good job of playing within the offense and not slowing the game down too much. And I liked what I saw in this game a lot, and the 76ers held on and won the game. I also want to say two things before I get to your comments and your Discord calls. The 76ers ran sets the entire game. And if you want to get in first, by the way, Super Chat obviously is the best way to get your comment read on the screen. Andrew Finn, I see your Super Chat. Thank you so much. Super Chats are always read on the screen. Thank you for the support. They ran sets the whole game. You know, we've been saying this now about Nick Nurse for a while, especially in the third quarter. Why do they completely stop running plays in the third quarter, right? Why do they get to the third quarter and it turns into standing around iso ball? It looks like a complete just YMCA pickup game with no strategy whatsoever. I finally saw the 76ers running sets the whole game. I don't know if Nick Nurse watches my show or not, but sometimes it seems like he does. Sometimes it seems like he gets in his Cadillac, whatever he drives, Mercedes, I don't know, Bentley or something, and puts on my podcast. And he's like, damn, this son of a bitch is right. I don't run enough sets, and I don't call enough plays. This 76ers team tonight, as far as the amount of motion on offense, looked totally different. And they were using Trendon Watford to bring Tyrese Maxey off ball. Tyrese Maxey off ball screens is damn near unstoppable. Maxey had another 31 in this game, and he was light shooting from three. He was 3 for 10. That's crazy because he leads the league in scoring right now at 33.5 points per game. If a light shooting night for Tyrese Maxey is 31 points, I remember 2 years ago saying Tyrese Maxey can be a 20-point per game, a 26-point per game All-Star this year. And do you guys remember the Tyrese Maxey doubters, the real Tyrese Maxey haters? He can't be a number one option on this team. He doesn't have it. He's a sidekick. He's a bench player, whatever they were saying. This is why you just can't read the internet. That year, Tyrese Maxey was a 26-point per game All-Star. The next year, which was last year, I thought Tyrese Maxey was going to take another leap forward and be on the MVP list, right? I was a year too soon. Last year was tough with all the injuries. Also, the roster was god-awful once everybody went down. When we're putting Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, and Reggie Jackson on the floor, what's Tyrese Maxey supposed to do? So last year, I was a year too soon. Tyrese Maxey this season, bro, I'm so blown away. I don't know what he did in the offseason, but I have no doubts ever about Tyrese Maxey in the offseason. He's going to go in the offseason, and he's going to take it to another level because he just loves the game so much, and he loves the work. He loves putting the work in. And Tyrese Maxey's a perfect blend of player that you want sometimes, right? Sometimes you want that guy that's a little undersized, that was known as a not-so-good shooter in college, because that guy his whole life has been told you can't do this. You know, sometimes you want that guy that's a little undersized because he's got a chip on his shoulder because he's been told his whole life he can't do it. Right? You're too small. If you were 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", you'd be an NBA player. I don't know, bro. You're only 6'1", you're only 6'2", whatever he was growing up, he was probably told his whole life, you're great, but you're not going to be in the NBA. Just gives me Allen Iverson vibes in that respect because he plays with that chip on his shoulder. And he goes into every offseason with that chip on his shoulder. And it shows every year. And Tyrese Maxey right now, I don't know if there's very early MVP list, but if he's not on the MVP list with what he's doing right now, I'm finding whoever wrote the list. And we got a bone to pick. The only other thing I wanted to say, I think, is VJ Edgecombe, man. You know, we were in the chat during the game kind of saying VJ's been slumping since those first couple games. I'm not slandering him at all. I've expected him to look like a rookie since his first game. This is what I expected VJ to look like. A young, athletic 20-year-old who has a lot to learn, right? But then, in the fourth quarter, I don't know what happened. But we were talking about it, And I was like, yo, I had a tweet that said, what the hell did VJ Edgecombe eat for breakfast before that first game of the season? Because I need him to do that again. And suddenly in the fourth quarter, it became the VJ Edgecombe show for like 5 straight minutes. Right? He had a nice Euro step lay. Oh, a beautiful Euro step from the left side of the lane to the right with the lay. And then on the right side of the rim, the dribble into a fadeaway midi that was just cash. And you could almost physically see his confidence bar just shoot to the ceiling. Like that midi, you just knew it was falling because you could just start to see him have that level of confidence. And then Maxey's inbounding the ball, giving it right to VJ. Joel's inbounding the ball, giving it right to VJ. So his teammates believe in him. I wanted to point that out because I love that segment of the fourth quarter where VJ Edgecombe got his confidence back and was at least for 5 minutes, was that VJ that we saw in that first game of the season. So shout out to that. And again, he's a rookie. He's going to have ups and downs, but his ceiling is space. His potential is limitless. And I'm happy he's here, man. I'm happy he's here. I am going to get to your super chats. I am going to get to the Discord calls. Let's do it, man. Andrew Finn, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Is Watford the power forward we've been looking for years, and was Embiid's performance tonight as good as the box score says? I know he's been horrendous defensively this year. Sorry for spelling errors. I'm drunk. Hey, yo, when I got a super chat, run it back, Philly, because we got to talk about the goddamn Sixers. I love that so much, man. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Watford's a power forward we've been looking for. I'm saying since Nicholas Batum, because Nicholas Batum was still really good defensively, even at like 39 years old or however old he was, man. Nicholas Batum was still really, really good when he was here. And I think we've been missing that since he left, which has been like 2 seasons now, maybe. Or maybe it was just last season. Maybe last season felt like 2 seasons. But yeah, Trendon Watford just, he fills that role of that versatile power forward who can play the high-low with Joel Embiid and can just do all the little things, man. That's an unbelievable triple-double, man. It really is. And Embiid, yeah, Embiid was better than just the points in the box score. I thought Embiid was moving better. I thought he had some post footwork that was very nice. He had a dribble, a mid-range dribble fadeaway that was just so vintage Joel Embiid. It made me almost shed a tear of happiness because it was so vintage Joel Embiid. You know, so it's there. He's ramping up. And we love it, and we're happy about it, and we're excited about it. And if I was wrong about Joel Embiid not getting back to the level we need him to be at, I would love to be wrong about that. Also, a chase down block on Grady. I don't say his last name because it feels weird saying his last name. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm the H word. I don't know. But I don't say his last name. A chase down block on Grady from Joel Embiid at the rim. And we don't prefer chase down blocks from Joel because they're dangerous. But Joel looked, rim protection-wise, better than he did any game this season, also in this one. So I'm very happy with what I saw from Joel Embiid. Adem Bona was unplayable. He came in the first quarter and just was terrible. Mamu Bakashvili, he just left him wide open like 4 times. Maxey tried to throw him a lob and he couldn't catch it. Adem Bona, you know, he has a crazy level of athleticism. We love him. But he just has to, it's going to take him some years to learn how to actually play basketball. You know what I mean? And he's only been playing for like a couple years anyway. So, Jonathan Himes, a member of the channel for 56 months. What is that? Damn near 5 years, bro? Holy hell. Jonathan Himes, thank you so much for being a member of the channel for that long. There was a point where Maxey was frustrated with VJ. I bet Maxey told him to get his shit together. Hey, good point, bro. And maybe that is what happened. And if anybody else wants to get in the Discord, click the link at the top of the chat. Call me on the Discord. I see Mo in the Discord. Maybe that is what happened, man. Maybe Maxey said, hey, man, you're being too passive. You're hesitating too much. And then you saw them inbound the ball, and Maxey gave the ball right to VJ, right? So maybe that is what happened, man. Jason Olds, thank you for the super chat. Jason from Toronto here. Raps on a back-to-back with a tough schedule to start. Your thought on the Raptors? Hey, man, I think the Raptors are building something there. You know, they won 3 games in a row, right? And they beat the Bucks, and they beat the Cavaliers in that stretch. I think the Cavs were still playing without Darius Garland at that time, but it's still the Cavs. It's still a deep team. And I think the Raptors are building something. I'm not too sure about Brandon Ingram, to be honest with you. I've never been a big Brandon Ingram fan. To me, Brandon Ingram just feels like he gets kind of empty buckets. Like, he can give you buckets, but it never feels like it really affects the game too much, you know? And even tonight down the stretch, when they really needed him, he went ice cold on like 2 or 3 mid-ranges in a row. Toronto, they're building something, but, you know, they need a superstar. Let's call it what it is, you know? You need a superstar to win in the NBA. I don't think Toronto has that superstar yet. They have a lot of nice players. But one big trade for a superstar could take the Raptors right back to where they were the last time they traded for a superstar. Kawhi Leonard, for anybody that didn't get that one. Yo, we got Mo in the Discord. Anybody else want to jump into Discord, get your voice heard right here on Run It Back Philly? Even if you're drinking on a Saturday night, man, it's fine, bro. We're not going to judge you. We're not going to judge you. Come on in the Discord. Call me, man. Click the link at the top of the chat. Call me. Yo, Mo, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, DJ? How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. What's going on, man?
Good. Just got a couple quick points for you, bro. First of all, I just wanted to talk about VJ Edgecombe. I know I said in the chat when the game started that the reason he's been struggling a little bit is because of those, teams are guarding him a lot tighter. And, I mean, he's just not getting out in transition as much. If you look at the Celtics game, they were just leaving him wide open, bro. Like 5 feet of space, shoot the ball, Rook. Like, we want you taking the shot. And he was hitting him. That was great. And then he was also getting out in transition a lot. I think in these past couple of games, he's been playing a lot more physical teams, and it's been a lot more half-court game for VJ. And that was one of his knocks coming into the NBA from college. He wasn't the greatest half-court player, especially in terms of on-the-ball creation. What I do think, though, is Nick Nurse hasn't been using him in a great way off the ball. His half-court offense off the ball is a strong suit of his. And I think there's a lot of ways you could get him going that way, and I just don't think we've been putting him in those positions. Another thing is these third quarter collapses where we, put Quentin Grimes at point guard. I think if you brought VJ off the bench and you had, VJ and Grimes coming off the bench, that would hurt his game a lot. I think he's been
Grimes been like
a lot in lineups because, it's just he's forced to do something on the ball and he's just not that player right now.
Yeah.
So I think the starting lineup should be, Maxey, VJ, PG, Watford and Embiid. I think that's the best potential lineup you get. And then off the bench, you just get a powerhouse lineup. You get Jared McCain, you get Quentin Grimes, you get Oubre, Barlow. I think you have a really good bench there if you run with that starting lineup. So
if Barlow ever comes back, man.
got into the Wolverine or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him.
Dude, I think you're so right about VJ, man. I think you're so right. And again, yeah, the Celtics were just leaving him wide open, and they were like, nobody was like, they were like, it's a rookie. Let's see what he's got. And he was just taking advantage of it. And then teams started to guard him a lot tighter. You're absolutely right about that. And yeah, it's a learning thing, man. He's a rookie, and he's going to have ups and downs, and he has to feel out the league. He gets blocked at the rim a lot too. And I said during the game that that's another thing that is just learning the speed of the game and the size and the athleticism of these players when you're so used to being the most athletic player on the floor all the time. Is a player like VJ Edgecombe in high school obviously is the most athletic player on the floor no matter where he's playing in the whole world. In college, he's the most athletic player on the floor no matter where he's playing for the most part in the whole world. You know what I mean? So your mind gets so trained at that, and now you're taking the ball to the rim, and there's like guys that are 6, 8, 9, 10 running behind you, just blocking your shot off the backboard. So that's one specific thing that's like a learning thing that just takes time among a lot of other things. I just think that's a good example of, he just needs time to get used to the speed, the size, the athleticism of the NBA. And I don't think Nurse is using him as good as he should be. I think I had actually a Instagram or TikTok clip saying that. And yeah, bringing him off ball, off screens, backdoor, things like that is the way to go with his speed and athleticism, man. I totally agree with you, bro. As far as the starting lineup, man, I said my perfect starting lineup because I love Tyrese Maxey off the ball, dude. I just do, man. Even when they're running the offense with Trendon Watford and Maxey's running around screens, he reminds, maybe it's my Iverson obsession, you can see all the jerseys behind me. Maybe it's my Iverson, just I grew up watching him. I loved watching him run off the ball around screens. He was so unstoppable. And when I see Maxey do it, I'm just like, that's what they need to do with him, man. Maxey is impossible to guard when he's running free and getting screen after screen after screen. And so my perfect lineup, if Jared McCain gets back this season, is Jared McCain at point guard. I think it would be lethal to run McCain and Maxey together, and then I don't know what I have the rest of the starting lineup as, man, because I want Watford to continue what he's doing. I don't know if I start VJ, man. I think I bring VJ off the bench, to be honest with you, because he's 20 years old. He has a lot to learn, and I love what he brings to the game. But I don't think I need VJ to be in the starting lineup, to be honest. And I don't know if the Sixers actually do that, but. And in a perfect world, I don't even bring Paul George back, dude. I just tell him to sit out until his contract's over. We don't even want to see you out there. But,
I mean, I know as much as we hate Paul George, just my idea with that starting lineup would be Maxey would be more off the ball. Trent Watford, we even saw it in this game, just out of system. They were just the chemistry that they have because they're really good friends. Like Maxey was getting on a bunch of backdoors from him, and just their chemistry that way. Maxey was moving off the ball a lot when Trent Watford had the ball in his hands. And then also, as much as we hate PG, I mean, I hate the dude too. He was a soft bitch last year, but I honestly give him. He is a good playmaker at the end of the day.
No, he absolutely is, man. You're right. Yo, Mo, thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Mo on the Discord on a Saturday night. I totally agree, dude. And I say it a lot too that Paul George can still be an elite defender. He can do a lot of what Trendon Watford was doing, to be honest with you. But he's a much better catch and shoot guy than Trendon Watford, at least when he's healthy. I don't know if Paul George is going to get back to what he was doing 2 years ago for the Clippers right before we signed him. Maybe we signed him and he got 3 knee injuries in a row and tore his pinky and he's cooked. I don't know. If Paul George gets back to being Paul George, he's one of the best catch and shoot 3-point shooters in the league. He's a perimeter defender. And his facilitating is underrated also the same way Trendon Watford's facilitating is underrated. It's crazy to think that I'm comparing a $50 million player to Trendon Watford, but that's kind of what it is at this point with Paul George. We overpaid the hell out of him. And if we just get another Trendon Watford out of him, I'll be happy with that. That's insane, bro. A $50 million Trendon Watford. Yo, Jarrett Newsom is on the Discord. Jarrett Newsom.
Hey, bro. What's up, bro?
Jarrett, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. First of all, I'm coming humbly as I know how, and I gotta apologize to my main man, Joel Embiid.
Already? We're apologizing already, man?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, man. I gotta apologize because I see how active he was tonight. So I gotta apologize for that. Cause I said they should have got rid of him. I threw him in that Paul George category. Cause Paul George needs to be bought out of his contract and cut ties with him.
He does.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, man. Because and I think if any Sixers fans act like that was a crazy reaction, and I think a lot of Sixers fans felt that way because you started to see a young core of players running fast up and down the floor, especially the first couple of games, and it really just felt like, bro, what are we doing with these old guys on max contracts? Let's just find a way to get rid of these guys and move forward and build around this young core. I think that's a very natural reaction, especially with Joel Embiid being injured for 2 years straight. And then he comes back and he looks like a shell of himself. It was very hard to imagine him getting back to 100%. It's still hard to imagine him getting back to 100%. But I do think now that if he can do what he did tonight, and even maybe he even ramps up even more, even with basically no ability to really jump and not have that athleticism he once had, Joel Embiid can still be very valuable, in that spot, obviously, as dominant as he was in the post tonight. So, I understand what you're saying, man. I understand what you're saying. Paul George, on the other hand, yeah, we could just move on. If we could just move on from that, that'd be fine. But yeah, I think if Joel can stay on the floor, he could play out the rest of his contract. It's still hard to imagine him playing basketball until 2029, to be totally honest with you. But I love what he's doing right now. I love what he did in this game.
Yeah, but the difficult part for me is I lumped him in with somebody that doesn't bleed blue, red, white, and blue. I lumped him in with Paul George. Paul George, obviously, it was a payday for him. Look at this dude, man. Come on, ever since he's been in Philly, he's not a Philly. He's not a true Sixer, man.
Nah, he's not. Remember, you see that clip? You see that clip of the internet guy that asked him if he's from Philly, and he said, "Hell no." Yeah,
I saw that. And I was like, wait a minute, man. Well, I'll play for the Sixers. But I'm like, wait a minute, man.
Yeah, he don't want to be here.
Yeah, he don't want to be here at all. His heart's still in Los Angeles. And I'm gonna tell you something. Joel Embiid has had his whole entire career here, and that man wants to win. Paul George don't care about winning. He's winning by going to the bank and cashing them checks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And hey, I want to say this too, man. You're so right, and that's why a couple games ago I said it's sad. I think it was like 2 or 3 games ago. I said it was sad what I was seeing from Joel Embiid because you could see the effort. You know what I mean? You could see him out there trying so hard. And he's just getting to a point where his body's like, bro, we can't do this anymore. That's how I felt a couple games ago with what he looked like. And it did make me sad because I never questioned Joel Embiid's effort, I never did. Right. I always knew he wanted to win. It's just he's 7'2", 280 with chronic knee issues and ankles and feet. When he first came in, he broke his foot in college, re-broke it, all that stuff. And so it was always just like, can he get on the floor? But it is sad sometimes watching him and the fact that he can't jump anymore because I'm like, the guy just always wanted it. And then you think about how the 76ers wasted his whole prime with Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris and whoever else. So, yeah, I agree with you, bro. We can't put those two together because Joel Embiid, whether he stays on the floor or not, is up to the basketball gods. But I've personally, and I don't think you have either, ever really questioned his effort level. You know what I mean? And Paul George, we definitely question his effort level.
That's why I had to apologize. That's why I had to physically, I felt like I had to come across these airways and apologize because I came across these airways and was like, look, let's get rid of him.
Respect.
So I had to do this. I had to do that. It's about a man thing. And as far as me, I look at Joel Embiid. He came with us. True enough, he's been hurt every year. I thought he compromised himself when he went to the goal and tried to, put that up as a championship, almost going to play for the gold. But then when he came back, I'm like, why are you go for the gold if you're not going to play for the team that pays you?
Yep.
And that's the only thing that really, really got to me, because as far as Sixers, man, I haven't had another team since I've been a kid.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think it was, I don't think Joel was 100%. Even in those Olympics, he only played 5 games and he didn't look great in a lot of them. He looked really good in the game against Serbia against Nikola Jokic, and then the next game he was unplayable again. So he didn't look great at all. I don't think he was healthy that whole time. And I think we forget sometimes that Joel Embiid is from, a foreign country. And I think that he was probably like, if I never get there in the NBA, I want to win this gold medal. And I think that maybe in the United States, we don't look at a gold medal as high as maybe some people in other countries look at it. And maybe that was just a major thing for him to have a USA gold medal Olympic, championship. So maybe that's what it was, man. But salute everybody. Salute emojis in the chat for my man for apologizing to Joel Embiid, man.
Yeah, I got it. Appreciate that.
Thanks for the call, bro.
Take care. No problem.
Shout
Take
out
care,
Jarrett Newsom on the Discord. I don't think we ever questioned Joel Embiid's effort. I said it was sad that, he looks like he's trying so hard and his body just can't do it anymore. But I got to give it up to Joel Embiid also because he looked really good in this game. And the fact that I thought he looked like he was never going to ramp up and he was never going to get to a level that would be playable in the fourth quarter. I was overreacting to the first couple games of the season. Everybody that came at me on that Instagram reel that has like 200,000 views, they're telling me to sell my podcast equipment and never say another word again and never talk sports again and all this. I jumped the gun on the first couple games, man. I should know it takes Joel Embiid 2 months to get into basketball shape. I should know that. But it is what it is, man. When anytime someone comes at me for things that I said on here, I just look at it like, dude, I'm on here every single day. I say things every single day, bro. You know what I mean? And if I'm wrong about some things, that's totally fine. I literally say things every day, And some people will remember shit, bro. Some people will be like, dude, you said you wanted to keep Ben Simmons in 2019 and on September 14th at 6:45 p.m. And I'm like, I don't even remember what I said yesterday, bro. People will come at me and be like, you said this on this date, you're a fraud. I'm like, I don't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. I just be saying shit, man. And anytime someone's roasting me by being like, people just get a podcast and just get a microphone and just be saying shit. Yeah, that's what I do. Or I literally am just saying shit, man. Yo, Otto is on the Discord. Otto, what's going on? Yo, Otto.
Hey, how you going?
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, I reckon Nick Nurse must have been listening to you last time your show was on because, you were talking about the half the court sets and just how it was just so predictable and just persisting with that two-man game with Maxey and Embiid. And, that's good sometimes, but you got to try out different stuff. And it was just great to see this game, the half-court sets with Watford and even VJ, even though that's probably not a natural position for him. But, they were guarding Maxey so hard that it freed up VJ just to go straight to the basket, or when he'd attack the paint, it'd free up a quick pass to Embiid for a completely open mid-range jumper. It was just good to see some changes there.
Absolutely, man. It is wild. That's why I made that joke about maybe Nick Nurse gets in his car and puts my podcast on, because it does. How did it look so bad last game? How did it look like there was no action, no offense, nothing whatsoever? And then tonight, action all over the floor. Screens, bringing Maxey off ball, running the game through Joel, running the game through Watford, running the game through. There was so much variety and creation. And I just don't understand how you can have none of that in one game and a whole lot of that in another game. So maybe he does, man.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's just encouraging to see that, there's nothing worse than just a coach that just won't move away from a particular strategy like that. So, Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling the show. Otto from down under, man. Shout out to Australia in the building. I want to go over to the Twitter machine really quick, look at some Twitter reactions, and then we'll get back to the Discord. I see 2 more people in the Discord. I'm going to get to you. I want to go over here for a second. The Philadelphia 76ers post. That is Trendon Watford's first career triple-double. Look what happens when you get out of Brooklyn. I'm not saying the 76ers have been some kind of winning franchise. But shout out to Trendon Watford. And yeah, man, just fitting in perfectly in that versatile high post power forward role. His handle is secure. He handles the ball so well for a forward. He really was running the game like a point guard, man. It was blowing my mind. I was calling him Trendon Jokic. And the no-look backdoor dime to Maxey, and Maxey almost caught a body. It would have been just beautiful. What else we got? Nick Nurse said Jared McCain was available tonight, and there were scenarios where he might use him, but those scenarios did not play out. He will be available tomorrow. So, yeah, we didn't see Jared McCain in this game, and honestly, I'm not mad about that. The 76ers, I don't think they needed his services. I think they were running a certain pace, and the lineups were rotating, and everything was looking like it was clicking, and you were kind of just getting everything you wanted as far as lineups and energy, and you didn't look like you if you would have looked like you really lacked a ball handler in certain situations, I would have been like, where the hell is Jared McCain? So I'm not mad about that. And Jared McCain, it's unfortunately it's going to take a little bit longer for him to really get up to speed than we thought with playing with that heavy ass brace on and everything. So we'll bring Jared McCain along slowly, man. I'm really I'm impatient, but I'm willing to wait because Jared McCain did incredible things his rookie season before that meniscus tear. Austin Krell tells us the Sixers are 6-3. They're in the midst of 3 sets of back-to-backs in their first 9 games. They easily could be 7-2 or 8-1. They did not win their 6th game last season until December 6th. Now, I'm not one that does this like if it wasn't a back-to-back, they'd be 8-1, or if this wasn't a back-to-back, they'd probably be 7-2 or 8-1. I don't do this whole back-to-back stuff because it's just a basketball game. I thought the things that they did in those games they lost them the game, not because they were on a back-to-back. They laid over and died against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They came back into the game and tied it and immediately gave up a 13-0 run. And if you want to say they were tired from a back-to-back, fine. I just find it, I don't like the excuse of a back-to-back when you're playing a damn sport, bro. You're running for 40 minutes. That's what you're doing, really. You are literally running, not even 30 minutes, 35. You're running for 35 minutes. You're telling me you can't go home, take a shower, eat, go to sleep, wake up the next day. You got all the training and technology in the world, right? You can wake up the next day, go get a damn deep tissue massage, go get sit in a sauna, go do whatever you have to do. You're in the state-of-the-art facility. You're telling me you're tired 24 hours later and you can't run for 35 minutes again? I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Allen Iverson averaged 41 minutes a game his entire career. I don't like to hear this back-to-back stuff. The Sixers are 6-3 because they lost 3 games because they didn't run an offense. They have the worst third quarter in the NBA, and the reasons they lost those 3 games is why they lost those 3 games, not because they were on a back-to-back. That's just how I feel about it, but it is what it is. This is the new era of the minutes police and sports science and all this stuff, and oh my God, this guy played 40 minutes. Oh my God, they're going to run him into the ground, all this stuff. Bro, it's basketball. What's the difference between 40 minutes and 37 minutes because some guy with a doctorate told you? Or maybe I'm just a dumb regular person and the sports scientists are the smart ones. I don't know. Yo, we got 2 more on the Discord. Sixer in Ohio. What's going on, man?
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for taking my call. It's the first time I've been able to call in, but I've been listening quite a bit.
Hey, man, thank you for calling.
No problem. I got 2 things. So, number one, I really love Joel Embiid's effort. He's trying really hard to not slow down the pace of the game. I see him, filling the lanes on fast breaks, and I really like that. So I know he's really trying hard. I know he's really giving effort.
Absolutely,
I really
man.
like that.
Absolutely, I do too, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. The thing that concerns me, the one other thing I wanted to say was Quentin Grimes. He's turning into a turnover machine.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about him in this show. You're absolutely right, man.
He needs to. I don't know what he's doing, but he needs to calm down a little bit. So,
yeah,
those are the two things we need to say.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the call. Sixer in Ohio, man. I appreciate it. Call back anytime, brother.
All right, brother. Take care.
Shout out to Ohio. Sixers fans in Ohio. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, man. I didn't even talk about Quentin Grimes. He has been a turnover machine. I didn't look at his turnovers in this game specifically. Actually, let's go look at it, man. Quentin Grimes, he had 13 points. He had 3 more turnovers. He was 3 for 6 from 3 for 50%, so shout out to that because he was bad from 3 for the past couple games too. But he had 4 turnovers in each of the last 2 games also. So he has 11 turnovers in the last 3 games. And yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. He just looks like he can't dribble the basketball suddenly. You know what I mean? He tries to cross people over. He dribbled it off his foot and it rolled out of bounds at one point in this game, you know? I'm like, what is going on? Because last year, and even a couple games in the beginning of this season, Quentin Grimes looked like a great ball handler and another, shot creator that was really hard to stop, his first step off the line. And he hasn't looked like that the last couple of games. He's struggled to dribble the ball, man. I don't know if he dips his hands in a vat of oil before the game or what, but let's put some of that sticky stuff that MLB pitchers put on their hands. We need to put some of that on Quentin Grimes on his hands, and we need to put some on Adem Bona's hands while we're at it. But yeah, Quentin Grimes has been a turnover machine, man. And I have a friend who's a Knicks fan, and he said, we loved Quentin Grimes, and he has games where he'll look like he's great. But what Sixers fans don't know, this is what he told me. Shout out to my friend Andy. Shout out to my Knicks fan Andy, bro. He told me what Sixers fans don't know yet is that he will also have a stretch of games where he looks terrible. And it is like that. And that's what a bench player is. A bench player is inconsistent, right? Microwave scorer can give you good games. Sometimes they're really bad, man. That's just what it is. Quentin Grimes tried to capitalize on what he did last season by commanding $25 million a year this offseason. And everybody kind of called his bluff. They were like, we know you're not a $25 million player. You're a very nice bench player. You're a high-level bench player, microwave scorer. He's a very good defender. But he's going to have a stretch of games like this. And so it's the inconsistency that I think is going to keep Quentin Grimes from probably getting that massive contract that he thought he was going to get. But I'm not worried about Grimes. I still think it's great to have Grimes off the bench, man. And when he gets back to, those games, he had 27 last game, but he had 4 turnovers and was 1 for 5 from 3. He was also 0 for 5 the game before that. So he's 5 for 16 from 3 in his last 3 games. But he'll get back on his game a little bit, and he'll be that guy off the bench that we were used to. Last Discord caller, Lee. Lee, what's going on, man? Yo, Lee on the Discord.
Yo, what's up? Hang on, let me turn you off in the background.
How's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, man, what's up?
I just wanted to shout out, first of all, Trendon Watford. Why is this the first time he's gotten 30+ minutes?
Yeah, he was coming back from a hamstring. He missed the first couple of games. He had a hamstring injury, and we thought he was gonna. We thought he was gonna be out for a lot longer than that, honestly, because a hamstring can be something that nags. You know what I mean? You don't want to push it. Probably you just don't want to push it too hard right away. That's pretty much what it is. And he's looking 100% healthy right now. So hopefully the hamstring is all good.
Yeah, he sure did look 100% healthy, man. That triple-double was nasty.
Absolutely, man.
Also, my other thing, I want to shout out Kelly Oubre Jr. He is averaging 19 points this year, knocking down at least 2 threes a game. I mean, it ain't the possession stops here this year so far. And I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, he's been great so far this season, man. And he's been shooting over 40% from 3 too, which is a career high, you know, and he was doing that his first couple weeks here before he got hit by a car, you know? So maybe he's back to that. And yeah, I love it because Kelly Oubre in a certain situation can look really bad, right? When he's on a bad team, he can look really bad. But when he's on a team that has a little bit of structure, and he can just do what he's best at, which is be that super athletic maniac that just flies up and down the floor. He can just give you so much, and I'm happy for him because after his Hornets season, he almost didn't get a contract in the NBA. Daryl Morey signed him at the end of the offseason. He didn't have any other offers from other teams. You know?
Wasn't it like a vet min?
Yeah.
He was on that first season?
And now he made himself another like $20 million over the past 3 years, so that's awesome for Kelly Oubre, man, and I hope he keeps it up, man. He's been awesome in that role of just a utility guy, has no fear in the world, will literally run headfirst into the backboard. He doesn't care at all, and yeah, he's fun, man. Kelly Oubre's been great so far. I'm happy for him too.
Yeah. Shout out Tsunami Poppy. I've been loving it, man.
Shout out Tsunami Poppy, man. Yo, Lee, thank you so much for the call, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, Eastwood. Have a good one.
You too. Shout out to Lee on the Discord. Shout out to Tsunami Poppy. Shout out to Sicko Nation for making another post-game live show. The best damn post-game live Sixers show in existence. It's all because you guys come through. You guys call the show. You guys jump in the chat, man. And we just keep growing every single year. And we're not stopping. Whether the Sixers win or lose, this show goes on. Last year, it was not easy. And, and I'm not saying the Sixers are going to win anything this year either. I don't have a crystal ball. But last year, man, I'm being honest with you. I wanted to quit doing this, dude, at least for the rest of last season, bro. But I stuck it out. I kept going. And now we are reaping the benefits. At least as far as we have a team now that can win some games and give us some fun nights, whereas last season was just like, why are we doing this, you know? That's all I got. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the Discord calls. You guys are amazing. Make sure you have the notification bell on because in between Sixers games, we do lives and other videos, and you don't want to miss any of those. That's all I got, man. You guys have yourselves a wonderful Saturday night. Be safe. Don't get too drunk like the one guy that super chatted, but shout out to you. Yeah, man.